In this video, we're going to install a system to track an artist's timeline. This is part 12 of our Airtable for Music tutorial series. If you're new, click here to catch up. The reason for this video is that I want to start implementing AI field agents into this demo environment. The first idea I had was to install one that would write the DSP pitch for us based on all the exciting events that an artist has coming up. However, the base doesn't currently allow for us to add any non-release related events to the system. We need to be able to track radio interviews, marketing calendar, promo events, other in-store meet and greet type activations. In order to do that, we're going to need to make some modifications, and that's what we're going to do today. First, head into the data layer. Rename the releases table to be called Artist Events. While you're in here, come into the Artist table, find that Releases linked record, change the title there too. Back into the Artist Events table, we now need to differentiate between the release-related events that we already have added to this table and any other non-release related event. To do that, we're going to install a single select field, and we'll call it Type. The options are going to be, of course, release, radio, marketing, performance, promo, event, other. Save. Since all of the records in this table so far are all release related, let's select release, hit copy, and paste it. Okay. Now into the interfaces, we want to make sure that none of the non-release related events show up in the releases page. So let's add a filter, and we'll call this where type is release. We also want to make sure that users are not adding any non-release related artist events to this specific page. So let's change the form to restrict the type to be release only. So click into the add release button, hit edit form, add in that type field, click it, set default to release, and uncheck the box that says allow users to edit this field. So now any user using this particular form from this specific page will be forced to only add release-related events to that table. Next, come into the artists page. In this case, I'm going to use an artist called Fog. Click into the detail screen for that artist. Scroll to the bottom. Add a new group. This group is going to have the field for artist events. And we are going to change it from the field appearance to the view. Once in the view, change the visualization from list to calendar. Let's make it full width and change the size to large. Now you can see it's coming together. We've got a calendar view that's displaying all items from the artist events table. Let's change the name to artist timeline. Let's click back into this calendar. Let's change the label to only be the title and the format. To the extent that it's a release-related event, you might want to know Shadows of Fire EP or Whispers of Darkness single or Legends of Rust mixtape, whatever it may be. And then let's also change the fields that display when you select each one of these calendar tiles. And in this case, I'm going to limit them. I'll take away name, but I'll say title, date, format to the extent that it's a release, but we also want to say type. Let's see how that looks. Boom, Shadows of Fire, this is the date, this is the format, this is the type. We can deprioritize date if we want, because of course you're coming from a calendar view where you know what the date is. Excellent. Now, click in the appearance section here, color. Let's color it by the type field, which means when you have a full array of artist events of different types, the color of the tile on the calendar view is going to match the color of the single select field that you've created in the data layer. You'll see how that works in a moment, because now we're going to add a button. So come into this section here again, add records through form. It's going to default to the same add release form that you're using on the releases page, which we now need to change. So click add new layout. Let's say we want the title, the date, and the type, but we don't need any of these fields to be displayed. You might have noticed that I deleted the artist field. That's because we're in the detail screen and it knows what artist it came from. Let's change the title to add artist event. Title we want to make required, the date we want to make required, and the type we want to also make required. Now, I don't want people adding release-related events in this specific part of the system, so we're going to click into the options area here, select all, and now deselect release, so their only options are to add any of the non-release related artist events. For date, I like to give it a default value to current date just so that you have a placeholder there, and then you know to come in and make that change. Change the title of the button to add artist event, and now hit publish. Okay, scroll to the bottom of the details screen. You've got your artist timeline section, add artist event. We'll say WXYZ radio interview, and we'll say that that's happening next week. Radio, create. Let's say we've got our Meta ads campaign launch. That's happening next Thursday. So we'll say that's marketing. Let's say we've got our Journeys in-store meet and greet. And that's happening on the 27th. And then let's add one more and we'll say Madison Square Garden performance. And that's happening next Saturday. Performance. Boom. And there you go. A clean place for you to start tracking all artist-related events, not just to streamline your workflows, but so the system knows all the exciting things that you're doing around this specific artist. That's going to help immensely when we go to install that AI field agent that's going to write the DSP pitch for us, because it's going to be able to draw from all the data that's in your head and the other departments in order to save us time, which is what we're going to handle in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.